Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. So today on the agenda we're doing something a little bit different. I just wanted to get more, a little bit face to face with you guys and just have a chat and kind of just run down what drifting costs me overall. That's all the notifications for later in the video, so stay put for that. If you have put your name forward to get rated on this video, you'll be on here. More than likely, I can't do everyone. It's a long process to film and record and edit, so I'll just keep it short and sharp. But first of all, on the start of this video, we're doing what is drifting costs for me. Well, what did last event cost? So if you follow the YouTube, you would have noticed that we did a round 3 in the Drifting SA series, the state series. This is Scott Tyres event. So I drove L2. I drove L2 and I came 5th in my first competition. So go watch that. It's up there. Have a look now. Tell me what you think. But for that, let's take the cost of that event. Entry fee and racer's license, which is like insurance and like a license to drive on the track. Totals for that were $280. The entry fee for the actual event itself was $250. And then we go on to tyres. We had 4 tyres, 2 Salins and 2 wind runs. The wind runs were $60 each. The Salins were almost $90. So that puts me up around $300 for tyre prices. Before that event, we had to do some maintenance on the vehicle. We did our motor oil and gearbox oil, and we changed the filter, which ended up to be about $65. Shout out to Mish's Mechanical for keeping that really cheap for me. Doing this on a budget, you guys help a heap. So shout out to you guys down there. It really helps out. And then, so we go fueling for both of our cars. The XR31, the drift car, it runs 98 octane. So that's roughly, because it's always roughly got about a quarter to a half a tank in it. I'll put about $60, give or take, and then do save maybe, $30 for later in the day where I can put 15 to 20 litres in to top it up if I need to. But the Prado to get there, roughly about the same again, $60. I know $60 is going to get me there and back. Usually that car's again on half a tank, so if I needed to fill up, obviously it would cost more. But those 2 cars were about half full, so $60 each was plenty. And that's about it. So it ends up being a total of $765. Obviously, if you include, buying food out, buying waters, Red Bulls, any other expenses for the event, I'm not really including in that total because you can bring it all. You can all bring it from home. So to be fair, with a little bit extra cash for fuel, you might want to be about $800. But the total of what that event cost me was $765. So for now, we're gonna, like I said, this Instagram post I posted on Instagram asking who wants their car rated, and so within the last I think 15 to 20 minutes I've had that up. So now we're gonna go through it and review these cars. Alrighty, that Instagram post, the first commenter on it was Anthony from MCSA. He's asked us to rate his FG. So I think this is a 2009. It's a Mark 1 FG. I don't know too much about Falcon, so I don't know what series and whatever it is, but it is a XR6. It is manual. It does make 400 kilowatt, and it is two-toned, but in a very, very different way to what I'm probably used to. But I got to be honest, this car is actually beautiful. Photos don't really do it justice, but when you really sit down and look at them, they definitely do this thing justice. This thing is sick, slammed on some cool wheels. I think that works. And yeah, this thing is really, really cool. Anthony, I'm going to give you an 8, high 8s to low 9s. I think you've done really well. Whatever car I'm going to be rating, I'm going to do that out of 10 from the best car in your model and series to to the worst. Alrighty, the next on the list is Ben Colson. I think I said that right. Anyway, he's got this really cool manual wagon, R31. As you can see, I'm just looking at the photos as I'm chatting to you, so bear with me. It's got a couple of brides in it. Got some big boy wheels. What specs are they? 15 by 9 minus 20. They have some sick dish on it. That's a really clean car. Manual wagons, like, really... Manual white wagon is a key to my heart. I love white 31s. Don't ask me why. But yeah, dude, this thing's heaps clean. Very, very nice. I'm going to have to give this a 8 to a 9, man. This thing's really cool. Like I said, a white wagon is the key to my heart. So, I love it. But yeah, S13 front end, coilovers all round. Definitely a super presentable car. Even like where you've put your number plate, like it suits that style. These photos are also sick. Got a front lip. No skirts, no rear bar. You've done it right. The 15s look really good on that, mate. But yeah, that's wicked. Especially being manual as well. It'll be a heap of fun. Most of the stuff to turbo it, but I'm having too much fun driving it. That is definitely the way to keep it. Also have a RB20 DT swap that you could put into it. But look, I don't think so. I think just keep RB30. RB30's a fun 200 kilowatt with a manual in a wagon would be killer. So I reckon keep the 30, save the 20 for some rich man that wants to buy it off you eventually. But yeah, all right, on to the next. So we're gonna rate Jordan's EL XR6 Heritage Green. It's a 1997 Ford Falcon, obviously. It's an auto with a built BTR. Still, it's not a Barra, which is good. As you can see, it's an Intec. So it's got the custom crow cam, valve spring, head studs, head gasket. It's got a built BTR. I think it's got a 6 boost on it. He hasn't mentioned that. Or it's a custom high mount manifold with a little Kinagawa turbo on it. It's also running a Micro Tech, and it's also on E85 and a flex fuel tune. It's funny, none of that, half of that isn't even in here. I know that car and its parts is more than that bloke does, so that tells you something that I'm interested in his bus anyway. But yeah, so Jordan, I'm going to have to give you a pretty high rate on that. The only thing that lets that car down is it doesn't make 300 like you tell everybody. So just for that, I'm gonna give you a 9. It's pretty high though. That's a high rate, but that car on the Silver Argent's lowered. Honestly, you jump into that car, you turn it on, and you think it's a stocky series, and then once it hits gate, it's just party. So you've done well to pick that car up. A few little teething issues you need to do, but honestly, that bus is sick. Alrighty, guys. The next one we have Brandon. He's got a. So he reckons this is the last Nissan/Datsun Oz to feature the L20B engine. Apparently, most of them were 4-speed manuals, but he was lucky enough to get one factory optioned with a 5-speed. He reckons he's smashed through about 3 diffs in the last 2 years of owning it. It's pretty cool. Like, seeing this car, it's obviously a Nissan. You can use so many R31 parts in it, which is usually not really common. Usually you can use a lot of other cars, for example, like he's even running them, VRVS brake calipers, which fit on the R31s as well, and also this. He reckons he's got a R31 front sway bar, R31 shocks with lowered springs. There you go. Again, R31 rear shocks. He's got some rotors on it, 15x8 plus 44. Actually suits really well. It's got some nice Potenza RE003s on it. It's a carby. So he's got a Weber 32, 36. I don't know what that is, or I don't really know what that means. Got some headwork. He's got 4 to 2 to 1 headers with a 2¼ inch all the way through. Factory no cat, so you don't need to run one legally. 411 gears, and then he's got some STI front seats, which is pretty cool. So he's got he's kind of got the basic put together body kit like most R31 owners do, but it's not an R31, but it kind of is. Starting off with the N13 Pulsar front bar cut to fit as a lip. He's got the same as a N13 rear bar. Again, same thing, acting as a lip. Some side skirts from an XR6, and yeah. Dude, this thing's so cool. It's so different. You never see it. You've done the styling really well, like the Venetians. The only thing I'd probably say, paint those side skirts, but I think because you've got that black lip, it doesn't clash too hard, and that black little rear bar, it looks good. Yeah, dude, this thing's so cool. Like, considering it is just not not the normal. It's got such a similar roof shape as a 31. Like, just everything's very similar. Hence why half the parts fit. But yeah, so dude, I'm gonna give you, honestly, it's gonna be up there, but I'm gonna give you like a 9.5 because one, I do not see these very often. Two, I'm a sucker for a red wagon, and you've got some style points on this thing. You've put it really well together. A few little things that I'll probably change, but they're very minor. Dude, this thing's wicked. So yeah, 9.5, good rating, mate. Righty guys, we're reviewing another good mate of mine, Jamie. Jordan was his brother with that EF or EL. Now Jamie's got 2011 Mark II GXE Turbo. As you can see, this thing is mint. It's such a beautiful car. He's really spent a good time trying to clean this thing up and really make it this presentable. It's almost like a show car. A few little things that aren't 100% with it, but as you get with every car for over 10 to 12 years old, this car's pretty clean. So it's only got 110,000 kilometers on it. So pretty well. It's got a 525 Walbro in-tank pump, 1150cc injectors. I'll take 6 of those if I can, Jamie. Billet pump oil gears, valve springs, atomic timing chain kit. Johnny Tig, 2,300 horsepower intercooler. Wow, that sounds expensive. He waited like what, I think 3 months or something like that. And then he went out and bought a Gen 3 Pulsar 3584 turbo with a 45 Turbo Smart external wastegate with a screamer. 4-inch dump to a 3.5-inch full system. E85, obviously stock ECU, but they're very tunable. And then a PRW transcooler to top it off. But this thing is like super neat. You jump in it again, it feels like a stock car until it hits gate. So both of those boys have got that habits with their cars that they buy and build. So they're both very nice cars, Jamie. I like it because Mark II, being a G6E, there's a bit of chrome. You've added your little touches on it. You've added, your plates and your diffuser, and obviously now it makes 450 kilowatt. Honestly, man, once you got that ZF, really dialed, I think at the moment, like it's a white G6E. It's not the most unique car going out there. Just because it is pretty basic and stock exterior wise, I'm gonna have to give you an 8. But overall, dude, you've put a lot of time and effort into this thing, and we can really tell it's super clean. So, so 8 out of 10. Good effort, Jamie. Fix that trans, make it look a little bit more aggressive, like style wise, and you'll be up to a 10 in no time. Alrighty guys, moving on. So we got 1988 Series 2 R31 Skyline. It's Ethan Forster's. So he's got a passage front end with the grills and lights from the import. Silo front lip. He's got a rear lip on it as well. DR30 rear end, as in struts. S13 front coilovers with the S13 front end, obviously. Got the G7 extended tie rod kit. Tied up some NA with some extractors and a pod filter and the strut brace. Made it look really nice. He's also got a fat oil leak. I think that's from his front main seal. That me and you both, buddy. And then he's got a silo / passage black interior throughout the car. Spool 389s. Hidden hydro setup. 20 det box with some I think they're straight cut first, second, third gears because they're super whiny, but in an aggressive way. I think they've been shortened as well. It's a really, really good box. So this car is just wicked. Like, honestly, as a Series 2, I think this is probably one of the best looking Series 2 that gets around. It's now defected, but touch wood, you can get that off. But yeah, I honestly think this is close to a 10, man. The only thing, look, it's not a 10 because the paint's a little bit rough on it. There's a few things I know you're not happy with. That's fine. But as an NA manual street car, this thing is definitely a 9, man. There's a lot of 9s on the channel tonight, but it's hard when, I'm picking the best cars that are being shown. Alrighty, up next we have another R31 Skyline. It's a silhouette, I think this time, red over silver. This thing's very patina, you can tell. It hasn't, doesn't look like it's had an easy life as such. Bit of paint fade, but it still presents pretty well. Straight panels. It's obviously been on the track a little bit. It's done a few skids in it, but this car is capable of handling up to 800 horsepower every day. He built the motor himself, so it's got CP and Canelo rods and pistons, oil pump, Nitto oil pump, cam, full PRP trigger kit, R35 coils, link ECU, with extension harness, with like safety features and sensors galore. 3584, which is the second one that's been in this video. Jamie also had the same turbo, again Pulsar. Apparently they're very, very good. He's still on a current low mount setup, but he's going to Pro Flow top mount manifold, and then he's actually upgrading to the 1600cc injectors, plus a surge tank, twin pumps, and yeah, everything to support 85. So he built this motor himself, and pretty well the whole car, just to see how much he can, you know, learn and improve pulling this thing apart and putting it back together. And he reckons the gate didn't even open, so when it was on its first startup, it shoved about 30 odd pound into the engine and it didn't blow up. So it's a good sign. He's obviously done some skids in it, but yeah, cool car. Honestly, I don't mind that it's patina, because you've spent so much time and effort, you know, cleaning it up and getting all the running gear mint. I give you props for that. Look, we'll meet in the middle. Red looks really bad, faded, but I think the patina suits, so I'm going to give you a 7.5, mate. The only thing that lets it down, obviously all your effort throughout your motor and your drivetrain is obviously pretty well getting up there of what you can do in one of these cars without going silly. You've done that, and then obviously just the body lets you down, and a little bit of like lacking in style, just because it is a stock car. So stock body still, but yeah, honestly, we'll give you 8. 8's pretty fair, I think, so we'll meet in the middle. Alright, we also have Parker that has swiped up, and he wants us to have a look at both of his cars. So we're going to start with the R31. So it's a Series 2. He sent me a little bit of a list. So it's a Series 2 in like a gold. You don't really see too many in this colour that are done like neat. So it'd be interesting to see once he's got a little mod list here that he's got for the car ready to go in or waiting on. So he's waiting on some super light rims, lowered suspension, pacemakers. He wants to put a cannon on it. And yeah, it's an orange R31 Skyline Series 2. Again, stock, like drivetrain, but still a cool car. I'll post some photos of it. Like I said, this car is really hard to get right, but when you get it right, they can look so good. So I'm keen as to see this in the future. He's also got an RX-7? Yeah, Series 1 RX-7. So it's a 13B. He's currently in primer, ready to be painted, but he's going to go Nardo Grey with some ROH wheels, R32 GDR seats, lowered. Obviously it's a rotor, it's sick, so I'll post some photos of these cars. And yeah, honestly, RX-7 not really my thing. I don't know too much about them, but obviously once it's painted, it's going to look really good. I'll give that roughly a 7. And then also I'm going to rate the 31 a little bit low, just because, you know, it is, at the moment, it is just a stock 31. But once all the stuff's done, I'm sure it's going to be closer to, again, like a 7. So, yeah, good effort, mate. Keep smashing it. I know you're a young dude just trying to get into it. So all I can say, mate, is just don't worry about what people think about your car. Just build it the way you like it, and you know what? You'll find your happiness in that. So keep smashing it. Good to see you got two cool cars on the way. Yeah, just time and effort, and they'll both be done. So legend. Alrighty, guys, that's about it. Signing off here. It's now 10:30. We started this. Yeah, before 8 o'clock. I tell you that much. So it's been a bit of an effort. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more. If you want to see more of these types of videos where I sit down and talk to the mic and more, talk about things and reactions, and I'm keen to do it because, look, I'm going to be honest, sometimes currently on my wage, I run out of, enjoyable things to share with you guys regarding, like car content. So I really want to find another way to, post content for you guys, but which may be a little bit less about cars, but still the topic of cars. So I'm not necessarily just going to be sitting in the shed all day working on cars, upgrading things, and continuously changing things, because it gets to a point where you can only change so much before you're touching shit that doesn't need to be touched, if that makes sense. So I want to do more of this stuff. It's a 20-minute long video. Again, if you guys have made it this far, Jesus, thank you very much for watching. Every view, every like, every comment is such a big help. I do spend a lot of time on this stuff, so I want to branch out and continue to grow with my subscribers and followers. So tell me what you want to see, and we can try to get on the channel. As of, I think this video will go up before the one that I'm about to do, but as of this weekend, I'm going to go out and collect another car. I haven't seen it. I know it's an R31 Pintara. I don't know condition of it, whether it runs, whether it stops, whether it starts. I don't know. It's out in the Riverlands, about 2.5 hours away from me. So Saturday morning, I'll be making that trek, going up there and grabbing that car for next to nothing. So that should be a cool video. Make sure you keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm knackered. I'll do some more editing of this tomorrow, and then we can post it on Saturday. So hopefully enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Love Day Motorsports for more. Peace out, guys. Cheers.